I'm going to show you how to use ZitaFTP Server to build your software or compile your software on one machine and then test it on another. So this is actually one of the reasons that I built ZitaFTP Server in the first place, especially when it comes to writing graphics drivers. The 2D graphics drivers on the Amiga, you end up having to restart the computer a lot. So it helps to write the software, compile the software on one machine and transfer it across, and I was having trouble with the transfer. So that's where ZitaFTP Server comes in. So yeah, I'll show you what I do to be able to allow me to compile and then immediately transfer it over for testing. I assume that you've installed ZitaFTP Server on the machines that you'll be testing your software. If not, you'll have to do that first. And then you need to make sure that you are serving directory or directories that you will upload your test binaries to. In this case, a development assign. Now, if you're like me and you are also developing drivers which have to go on the system partition, for security reasons, I would recommend the following. Only serve the directories that you actually need and only switch on the FTP server when you're actually doing the development work. And that's for security reasons. Basically, if you expose your system partition to the internet or even to your local network, if somebody does guess your password, they can do a lot of damage. Now, once you have the directory set up, you will want to go into Settings, Server, and change the file permissions for the uploaded files. Now, one of the limitations of FTP is that it will not copy your file permission bits. So, unless you want to manually add the execute bit every time, I suggest you set that to the default. So enable it here and click Save. And there you go. The server side is all set up for your software development and testing. The next thing you'll need is a remote install script to put alongside your make file. I'll give a download link to this, so no need to look at the details. But you'll need to customize, so you should put your own FTP address in here, own username, and then the path to where you will be uploading your test binary. And what this script does is it basically uses curl to upload to the remote path via FTP. And you'll notice here, I'm uploading the debug version. You don't need to do that, but I like having the debug symbols in when I'm testing. It just makes things easier. Just another quick caveat is, because it's a bash shell script, on Windows you may need to do the end-of-line conversion to Unix to make sure that the line endings don't screw things up. And then finally, you will need to update the make file. So somewhere at the top, you should add this remote install script variable. And then in amongst the build rules, you add a remote install build rule. Something like this. Again, I'll let you download this file so you don't have to look at it too much. And then you can do a make remote install. Let it build. Here I'm doing DV player. It will ask you for your password. And then upload. And then at this point I will switch over to the Amiga. Over on the Amiga we can now test the new DV player binary. So far so good. But since it's a movie player, we should play something. And there it's going. So what we have now is we have an efficient way of building on one machine and then automatically uploading it to the Amiga for testing. So just a quick summary. In a nutshell, what you do is you set up the FTP server on your test machine. Then you make sure that it sets the execute bit so that you don't have to do that manually every time you're testing. And then use a small script with curl and a quick entry in your make file to be able to automatically build and upload to your test machine for testing. Hope that was useful, gave you a few ideas. I'll see you next time.